Hey neighbors, welcome to the Shed Shop in this edition of product reviews. Today is Monday, February 26th, and it's about 5 a.m. If you're new, welcome to the channel, and if you're not, sorry, this is going to be repetitive for you for just a moment, this intro here. The product we're going to be reviewing is a ultrasonic parts washer. Okay, I have a small one, and I've purchased the 10-gallon, and I'm going to tell you guys the pros and cons of it, the brand that I got, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and if I think it's worth the money. But first, I want to tell you guys a little bit. I'm disabled. I suffer from a lot of chronic pain. Last week, Tuesday, by the end of the day, I was hurting so bad that I couldn't even take a shower. So I went to bed on my clean sheets, all greasy, nasty, filthy, vile, dirty, and disgusting from washing and working on chainsaws. I spent the better part of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in my bed, save for getting up to take care of my uncle, changing his wound bandages and cooking for him because he's lazy. My uncle was sick in the hospital, October 31 to December 2, and then January 10 to February 15, I'm sorry. And he's healing now, but he's not back to work yet. Finances are really tight. But nonetheless, so Saturday's usually my day off, and I work kind of a casual day Saturday, basically a half day, so to speak. And then I have been working since basically noon on Sunday, and like I said, it's 5 in the morning, 5:30. Monday morning, and this is one of the chores that can really cause me to end up in bed for 3 or 4 days if I'm not extremely careful. Normally, my uncle does all of the heavy lifting around here. And that isn't to include the bringing the water out from my larger parts washer, or the 3-gallon sprayer that I use, various things like that. But right now he is on a weight restriction of how much he can lift, and so even if he was awake and willing to help out, he's not allowed to according to doctor's orders. The next thing is I want to tell you about this building that we're in. We are in a 12 by 28 portable building with a 9-foot garage door, a man door, and it had one window. I have installed 3 extra windows. But I had ordered me a 16 by 36. The reason being, I wanted to be able to easily pull a vehicle in my building and have space to work on it, plus have a nice big shop set up. And I had anticipating having water, electricity, and heat and air. And we're unlikely going to have water because I don't have the space to set up the wash station that I wanted. And I had spent 6 to 8 months designing and planning my floor plan for my building, how I'm going to set it up with my different stations, where my chainsaw work would be, where my woodworking would be, etc. And right now I'm working in a 10 by 12 little shed with only 4-foot walls, and so that further restricts the actual working space of the building and causes it to feel much more confined. And so I am in between the 2 buildings right now, and it's chaotic, it's messy. Got to cut in here real quick because I realized that I did not tell you guys the full story of the building. I ordered a 16 by 36 building. It was the color I wanted. It had the garage door I wanted, the man door where I wanted it, all the windows where I wanted them. The roof was the color I wanted, and it took me about 6 months to pull the trigger on that, and I, again, had my whole floor plan designed and everything else. Ordered the building. Took him about 6 weeks to build it. It's pouring rain the day the building comes, and the guy had ripped a corner off by the garage door, and Graceland Portable Buildings said that I needed to file a warranty claim. Warranty covers stuff wearing out before it's supposed to. It doesn't cover damage caused by a driver before the building was even on my property. And so I had told Graceland they need to send me an email assuring me that they're going to fix that, that I need something in writing saying they're going to fix that. And they refused to do that. So unfortunately, I had to reject that building. And I had stuff all over my yard, under tarps, my porch full, my house is still full of inventory and chainsaw parts and Meteor products and aftermarket air filters and stuff. And I found this building that we're in now as a repo for a decent price. As the buy here, pay here leasing, I'm going to end up paying 15 grand. Hopefully, some way, somehow, I can start making more money and we can pay it off early because it was on sale. If I would have paid cash, it was $8,934. So that's just what I wanted to say, because we are all disorganized and chaotic and I don't have enough space, and I've kind of had to wing it on how I'm putting the building together. I've had to change several things of how I plan to run my electrical, my insulation, everything, because the building is a different size. So, sorry about that. I will put this into the video somewhere as best I can. Okay, neighbors? Love you. Enjoy the rest of the footage. Because no matter how hard you try and how far you're willing to go above and beyond for them, they'll still say you're doing them dirty. And I don't like that, because the one thing that will cause conflict from me is to say my character is shitty in a way that it's not shitty. I have no problem with somebody telling me my character is shitty where it is shitty, but if I do you right, and I go above and beyond doing you right, and you say I did you dirty, it causes my intermittent explosive disorder and my situational anxiety to come out, and I end up, and I start yelling, and I get really upset, and it can cause me depression as well. But all that being said, right now, I have my small parts washer in my small building, and I've been using a big parts washer in the big building. So, we're going to unbox this brand new parts washer. But Chainsaw Redeemer, I thought you just said you were using it. What'd you do? Clean it up and box it again to make a video and lie to us? No, neighbors. What happened is, one day, I come out here, we had a really cold night, and it was also only about 30 degrees outside, and the heater on my ultrasonic parts washer would not turn on. And so, I tried different things for about 5 minutes, couldn't get it working, so I got Amazon on the phone, and they happily obliged a replacement for me. And so I have the replacement, and also, this is the same exact one that was not working properly. If this one does not function properly and ends up malfunctioning, they're going to go ahead and give me the additional $50 that I need to purchase a different brand. Now, how much was this 10-gallon parts washer, you ask, neighbors? Well, it was about $255 after tax, and Chainsaw Redeemer is poor, so he put it on his Visa, Amazon Visa card, and got 6 months no interest. The odds of me paying that off in that time? Doubtful, unless business picks up. So that being said, neighbors, let's go ahead and get our damn box. We'll put it over here, and we will get to work. Damn it, neighbors. Let me make sure you have a good view here. Okay, we'll turn you just a bit. We'll tilt you a little bit. Okay, there we are. We'll try and straighten you guys out. You're leaning a little to the left. Okay, there we are. Now, this is a Vivor brand. That's the brand, Vivor. Let's see, I can show you here. See that? Vivor. And I have the little, it's like just shy of 1 gallon from the same company. And thus far, I haven't really had any issues with it. The only thing I have noticed is that it doesn't clean quite as good as it did when I first got it. And so the little ultrasonic vibrators might be wearing out just a bit. The biggest con I have on this larger one, the biggest complaint I have, is it takes half a day to all day, depending on the temperature in the shop, to warm up. Okay, so get our package open here, and it's packaged nice and good. It's got all this formed foam. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull that out and save that so we can pack chainsaws and chainsaw parts with it. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and yeah, let the box rip. Okay, that will work fine. Take this bad boy out and set it over here. Okay, nothing else left in the box. Alright, and then we will take it out of its plastic bag here. Sorry, take the lid off. And we will remove the plastic from the lid. Thank you, Rob Weaver, for trading me a chainsaw for a few knives. That Rob Weaver sent me some really good knives in trade for a chainsaw a little while back, and I really like them. Plus, he gave me a boning knife for my birthday that I really like. And then he sent me a knife for Christmas. Okay, this is the drain hose that comes with it. Deep six step chip, Rob Weaver. We might find use for it someday. But actually, since I don't know where I stuffed the hose, probably upstairs in the loft, this has to go back with the other one. I use... Let me move my chair. I just bought this chair today. It's unfortunately too high for my bench, but I got a good deal on it. And I got some organizers and stuff from a couple that's moving. So I bought a few things from them, even though I couldn't afford it. I just went to my local hardware store, and I just got me some standard, what is this, I believe, half-inch rubber hose. And that will hook right on here to the drain. Let's see. I think I actually had to... I think there's two of these. Nope, I'm trying to think, neighbors. Let's go ahead and open it up and we'll see. But that's what I use to drain it. That's because, like my other one, I have the hose running outside, and I have a catch basin, okay, to catch my product. And then because it has oil and gassy residue and stuff like that, I dispose of it for free at my local dump. Okay, so now I thought there was another little plastic thing there. Let me grab it off the other one, neighbors. Maybe that's something I purchased. Okay. Oh boy, it's tight on there. Okay, I'm going to have to go get some pliers. Okay, so I did. I purchased two of these. I forget what they are, but it's a half-inch little thing, and this end hooks up to the garden hose that I purchased. And so I have one for each end. The reason I have one for the other end at the drain end is because I know I'm probably going to have to add on to it at some point. And this is like, this is the good hose, so it's like $1.86 a foot. They have some stuff for 86 cents, but it's not quite as good. Okay, so these did not come with it. All you get is your ultrasonic, your basket, your lid, and our power cord, and a little instruction booklet. Okay? Okay, so the types of cleaners you can use in these guys, what they say is you cannot use any petroleum-based solvent. So, like, you can't use mineral spirits or CTS parts washer solvent. I use Green Clean, okay? I buy 5 gallons at a time, and I mix it roughly like 7 or 8 to 1. Okay, so I just want to put this on. So I have it. This hooks right onto our drain. As you can see, we've got an open and close valve here. It's nice that they include that on this one. And eventually, that's the hope, is I'll have a setup where I can just drain this right out into. I'll have to get a bigger catch basin, but and then we have a little screen in our drain here, and mine gets really, really dirty because I wash nasty, filthy, vile, wretched, disgusting, dirty parts in it. And so sometimes when it's draining, I just kind of have to keep running my finger over that drain like this. Okay, your basket can go in. Okay, I like to leave my film on. Okay, just protects it a little longer. You do what you want to do. Now we take our cord here. I got to go around you guys to the other side. Excuse me, class. Excuse me. If you would just move your legs there. Excuse me, please, neighbors. If you'd stand up, I can't get by. Your legs are too fat. Thank you, neighbors. Okay, great. Everybody can have a seat and sit back down. Sorry for disturbing you there, neighbors. I'm going to have to walk through again in a minute. So this plugs right into the back. Okay, and also your on-off switch. Your main power switch is back here on this side. Just a little on-off button, okay? So we will plug this bad boy in. And then basically, we need to fill it with water and cleaner. It does not want to plug in. It's being an asshole. Our ground thing is kind of not far enough back there. Let's try that. Damn China neighbors did us dirty here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm doing myself dirty. I was trying to plug it into 2 separate outlets there. That's not going to work. Okay, so get my cord out of the way here. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. If you wouldn't mind. Excuse me. Excuse me, please. Thank you. Thanks so much. Excuse me. So sorry, neighbors. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay, and I've got 1 bucket of water here. When I fill this fresh, I use hot water. That way I don't have to wait as long for it to heat up, it will be hot and ready to go. Typically, if I am all done for the day and cleaning it up and not going to use it till the next day, I won't fill it until I'm ready to use it. And that way I can fill it with hot water. I have to go get more water from the bathtub, neighbors. Okay, I had to make about 4 trips total because I can only carry about 2 gallons. And I can already tell, yesterday I woke up at about 9:30 a.m. with a severe migraine. So I took a bunch of goodies and anti-inflammatories and muscle relaxer. And I went back to bed, and fortunately, my migraine was gone when I woke up, which isn't usually the case. But just carrying that bucket from here to the house, which is only about 150 feet, I can already feel a headache coming on my neck. The strain it puts on my neck and shoulders is really hard for me. And it's not exactly dolly-friendly terrain, so I can't use a dolly. Okay, so what I'm using, and I'm going to be trying out another product called Super Clean, but this is called Simple Green. It's a completely organic cleaner, and I've got about 6 or 7 gallons of water in here, and I usually measure this out, but I'm tired, and I'm just going to guesstimate. Okay, so we're going to add some of this. You can also use Dawn dish soap. I would say in the big one, you probably need a 1/4 cup of Dawn dish soap, and I used a little bit too much water, but you can see there's kind of a groove line here, and that's where I usually fill it up to, and that leaves the handles of the basket just exposed, because I heat this thing up, it goes up to like 80 degrees. So now, we just flip our switch to 1 back here, it lights up. This is basically useless, throw that shit away. It tells you in order to use the heater, you have to have it filled to that hot on my small one. I looked, this manual does not say it. But basically, you can turn the temperature on, it starts flashing, and the light is supposed to turn on. And it's not, that's an issue. But then we turn it up, I put it at like 50, usually 50 degrees Celsius, which is really hot. Okay, and then you can set your timer up to 30 minutes, I believe. Yeah, 30 minutes, okay? And then you can turn it on. Let's grab us a filthy, vile, dirty, disgusting chainsaw part. These ones are not that bad. Let's see here. Okay. So some muck and stuff. I usually spray as much off as I can in the beginning because it gets really dirty. But you can see how dirty that is there. So we're going to go ahead and put all that stuff in. And then I'm going to run it for like 3 or 4 minutes and show you guys what it looks like after the fact. Actually, I might be able to use this air filter. Okay, so then the other thing you can do with your hardware, you can take your hardware and take either a plastic container with a lid or a glass jar, or you can just grab you a Ziploc baggie. You can put your hardware in your bag, okay? Put that in here and fill it with some of the solution and zip it up, and it will help clean your hardware, okay? So you put your lid on. Another trick is if you've got parts that don't quite fit down all the way, turn your lid upside down. It gives you about an extra ½ inch. Okay, plus, if you run this for a long time like I do, all the water builds up on the lid, so you can just lift it and let it drain nice and easy that way, okay? So, plug your ears, neighbors. I'm actually going to put you on pause because this bitch is loud as hell. Well, neighbors, such is my life and my luck, the damn video was paused when it wasn't supposed to be paused, and it was unpaused when it was supposed to be paused. So you didn't really get to see the parts come out clean. Why won't this bucket slide? Because my floor is uneven. Go figure. That wouldn't be there if I built this damn building. So, we're going to try this again. I grabbed some more filthy, vile, dirty, disgusting, wretched chainsaw parts from neighbor Leonard's 029 Super that has a burnt up motor, and we're going to put them in the damn ultrasonic. I'm going to run it for about 4 or 5 minutes while I go and start preparing my breakfast. Because apparently, I don't get to go to sleep because all I wanted to do was edit a quick video and get it uploaded to the internet and go to bed. But no, I watched the video and then I didn't finish my sentence in one part, so I had to record a short video, which you already saw, interrupting you and explaining the rest of the story about my building. And then I have to redo all of this, and I had to do all kinds of editing to that video. And so far, we're about 2.5 hours deep into trying to edit this video and to get shit right. So here we go, neighbors. 5 minutes. I'm going to pause you now, and hopefully my phone does what it's supposed to do and pauses. Wow, neighbors, our government is so shitty. I'm trying to contact the IRS, and they keep hanging up on me and transferring me to different people that don't speak English. They're talking to me in Spanish, and I tell them, no hablo español, and they tell me I can't speak to a manager because they're working from home, but yet they don't realize they're a government agency, and I am requesting to redress my grievances and requesting a way to file a formal complaint against the very first lady that I spoke to this morning who actually spoke English, but she refused to answer my question. She kept talking over me, and when I asked to speak to a manager, she hung up on me. Anyways, so this has run for 5 minutes, but it's been over an hour, so it's been sitting in this nice hot water, which would make it even more clean now. Okay, so, as you guys can see, it did take a lot of the stuff off. However, if we tried to blow all that dirt and grit and grime and schmutz off prior to putting it in there, it wouldn't have come off. Now, look at that. Off. With 5 minutes. Compressor's going to kick on and I'll have to pause you again. Okay, so, anyways, these are the parts we did earlier. I just sprayed a little bit of dirt on them by accident, but you can see stuff comes out really clean. The best feature this thing has, in my opinion, is the heat. If this thing was just an ultrasonic without that heat, it wouldn't do nearly as good, but look how clean that is. That's only, let's see, did we do 4 minutes or 5 minutes? We did 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay. Right off. And so, the other part is, I think, when I tried to take you guys out of the mount, that part of the video, you guys were on pause. So, I was trying to show you last night, or early this morning, I'm sorry, that basically, with my big ultrasonic, I was able to wash all these parts in a few hours. And one of the things I was explaining is, when I would use my solvent parts washer, all these little crevices would be really hard to get clean. You'd have to let the put the solvent on it, let it sit, spray it off, put some more solvent on it, let it sit, and then this stuff took forever to dry and everything else. And then also the solvent would carry the dirt into the bearings, and they would get stuck, seized up. I don't know if these are good or not. A lot of times the bearings sound loud, and they will lubricate themselves, but there's been a couple of times, in fact, on one of these 028s that's in there with the case split now, the bearings sound a little loud, and I thought they would be okay, but unfortunately it was a spun bearing. A spun bearing doesn't necessarily have play, it just means it's making all kinds of noise, and I'm presuming that's because the balls must be spinning around inside the bearing when the bearing is supposed to spin on the balls. So anyways, I'd get myself into trouble sitting here with a little screwdriver scraping all this stuff forever and ever and ever with my OCD, but look how clean that is. Okay, this ultrasonic really does a good job, because look at all these parts. Look how shiny my hardware can come out when I put it in for extra time. Your gas caps, all these little grooves in the gas cap. The ultrasonic loosens those up in just a quick spray with the air compressor, and it works. This is filthy, vile, dirty, and disgusting still. So is this, but, no, this one, yeah, I haven't watched this one yet, so I've just kind of sprayed it off. I try and spray and scrape, the majority of it off, but the main reason for that is to keep this clean, because it's a major chore, as I said, that can put me in bed carrying the heavy water and stuff, and then also, when this gets dirty, when this water gets dirty, it just does not clean nearly as good, and that's probably because you've got all the heaviness in the water. But all these parts, you know, I need to sell, and also, you guys know I like to sell clean chainsaws, and when you work on chainsaws, also, it's a lot better to do your motors and everything when the parts are clean. So, I got all these parts to list. Anybody need parts? We've got a complete Husqvarna 346 XP. Those are some hard parts to find, neighbors. The only thing I don't have is a piston and a cylinder, because they were bad. I bought a piston for this, so actually, yes, I do. I do have a Meteor piston for this saw, but I don't have a cylinder, and so we're going to part it out, because we'll probably make like $500 on these parts total, and I would never get well, I might get $500 for a 346 XP to the right buyer. I got 311, 391 parts. I got 271, 251, 211 parts.
A bunch of 271 stuff in there. This is all 271. There's some 290 or 391 and 311 stuff mixed in. That's all 171 and 211 stuff. I've got all these 028 stuffs, rebuilt recoils. I've got clutches in there with new springs, all kinds of hardware, AV mounts, tons of covers. They're not the greatest looking, but if a guy had a broken cover and just wanted to replace it for his own saw, I have lots of covers. I've got a few air filter covers, crankcases, motors. I've got 42 millimeter 028 top ends, and I've got 44 millimeter top ends. The 46 millimeter Super is mine, neighbors. I only have one. No, you can't have it. Stop asking. I only have one Super Meteor piston left. I've got to order more, but the IRS is doing me dirty. Can't get my tax refund. Here's my 026 Ted nozzle. Here's my other partial 026 Ted nozzle. And somewhere in a box in this mess or next door mess is the rest of my 026, my other 026 partial Ted nozzle. And then we have all these saws we still have to tear down and clean. You didn't see it. Shut up! Don't tell nobody I have a Poulan in my shop. I'm going to try one time to service it, and if it doesn't run, I'm going to sell it for $10. Okay? But I'll have to take my carburetor parts off. So, my little 22-minute video has now probably turned into a 30-minute video. Here's my saws for sale, neighbors. If you want to buy some, I want to buy my check. 064. Everybody says my price is too high. I don't give a shit. I don't think my price is too high on my 562 XP. I think that saw is worth every bit of $750. And actually, I marked it down to $700. Brand new 24-inch Olds Pharma. Brand new OEM top end. Fully rebuilt carburetor. Brand new fuel lines. Brand new fuel filter. Brand new air filter. All kinds of good shit. I eliminated the decom though. I don't like them. Want to buy my MS391? Want to buy my 044, neighbors? How about my 211C? How about my 025? Want to buy my 200T? My 017? My 271? My 390? My 021 Ugly Betty for really cheap? My Husqvarna 450 Rancher for a decent fair price? MS170? Want to buy my MS250 Nightmare? I'll give you a really good price on it, but you got to figure out what the hell's wrong with it. Want to buy a parts saw, Domer. Anyways, neighbors, I'm tired and I'm being dorky because I didn't get my sleep because my video got all jacked up and now the IRS is pissing me off. My uncle's tax return, we set it up to go into my bank account. Wasn't thinking. He's not on my bank account and Chime doesn't do joint accounts, so I can't add him to it. So now Chime is going to reject the deposit that was supposed to come through today. And Chainsaw Redeemer was spending money yesterday on he's needed for a long time. Counting on the deposit coming through so he could pay off some credit cards, but it's not going to happen. Now we have to wait 5 days, and then we have to try and get a hold of the IRS again, which is a nightmare, and then the IRS has to get a hold of my bank and tell my bank to send a check back, and then they send us a paper check, which could take 21 days, or it could take up to 6 months, which really sucks, neighbors, because now I have no idea when it's coming. It's a lot easier to buy the check I need, like my sprayer that's bad, and my stuff to run electrical in my shop, and more lights, and brake parts cleaner, and just stuff I need to run my business. A thermal printer, let's see, thermal printer, sandblasting cabinet. I've needed a compressor for a long time because all I have is a pancake compressor. I bought me, what is it, a 50-gallon compressor for 50 bucks. It runs, but it doesn't fill with air. I have never rebuilt one of those motors, but everything I can find, I'll change the regulator on it. I'll change the breather thing on it. And it's just not filling with air. So, I was told it's probably the seals inside are bad. So, I'm going to have to take that motor apart and try and fix it. Because I can't afford a new damn compressor, even though I need one. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the damn video, neighbors.